Welcome everyone, and thank you for joining us today. My name is Ivan Stano, and together with Rick, we will walk you through the content that we prepared for today. The title of the webinar is the Introduction to Woodford, Resco's configuration tool. So that will be the main focus of today. But apart from that, we will also talk about mobile landscape, why mobile practice is important and why mobility is playing such a crucial role in the businesses today. I'll talk a little bit about Resco Solutions portfolio and what we plan for 2018. Then Rick and myself, we would like to invite you to Resco.next 2018, our conference, our event that we organize for the North American region in March in Atlanta. And then we'll continue with a demo. So for today, I prepared two demonstrations. One will give you a quick overview of the mobile application running on an iPad. And then we'll spend the rest of the time doing simple customizations in the Resco configuration tool called Woodford. We should cover basically 2 or 3 things in the Woodford tool, depending on how much time we have. But I'll definitely plan to show you how to change the dashboard in the mobile application. And then a little more complicated thing, how to add a new entity into the mobile application. And then, of course, place and room time for your questions. As maybe a few organizational quick facts, all of you attendees are in listen-only mode. That means your microphones are disabled. But please use the GoToWebinar console to submit questions. There should be a special section called questions where you can type in your questions during the webinar. And at the end, we'll reserve about 10, maybe a little more minutes to cover as many questions as we can. So if that's what you expected from today, you're at the right place at the right time. And before we start, quick introduction about myself, and then Rick will introduce himself very quickly. I believe that many of you know me as I'm with Resco for quite a long time, more than 9 years. I've been involved in many various roles and departments within Resco. Currently, I'm managing our North American office as Resco is a company headquartered in Europe in a lovely country called Slovakia. But we also have offices in greater Boston area, and that's my location as well. I love to talk to all Resco customers, prospects, partners. Sometimes you can find me at various events, usually speaking on topics around mobility. So that's about myself, and I'll give word to Rick.
Thank you, Ivan. My name is Rick McCutcheon. I'm a Dynamics CRM MVP. Have been involved with Resco for the past year or so, helping them to really evangelize the product in North America. I see sort of an overview of all the sort of projects I've been working on, and my work with Microsoft and my work with ISVs, that mobility is kind of going through the roof, and there's a big need for it. So many of you have seen me speak at the different conferences. I speak at Microsoft Corporation. For the UG, I chair the National UG in Canada. I'm out of Toronto. I speak CRM Evolution, CompTIA, Extreme, and I work at 2 regional innovation centers, Innovation Factory and the Spark Center. So technology is pretty much what I'm all about, and my specialty is customer relationship management. And today we're going to really talk to you about what's the opportunity of mobility first, and then we're going to get you into a really good session on the development. So 8 reasons why customers are deploying mobility. So what's interesting now, and I've seen, I've been over 20 years in this marketplace, the growth today is unbelievable, and how many projects are out there and how much real work people want to do. And I got to tell you, there's a real shortage of developers who can work with both Dynamics Field Service and Resco Mobility. So I have to say that the people on the call here are in the right place at the right time. So why are they doing it? And we're seeing, we hear Microsoft talk about this digital transformation of business. Well, we're absolutely seeing it in the mobile worker. And we've been seeing it for a number of years, but we're really getting the ability with applications to work, within that whole Microsoft cloud and the mobile worker. And with the power of devices that go out in the field today, really there's no difference when that person is in the office, driving their delivery truck, or in the field, they have that same sort of mobile power. So why are companies doing it? First of all, they want to improve worker productivity. The people are out there, they don't want them filling in forms. They want information, real time. They want workflows hooked up to be able to help them do more things. Number two reason we found is increased sales, right? More and more field workers are being asked to, sell a warranty to somebody, renew their contract, upsell them on a new water heater with their furnace, all types of things like that. So mobility helps them to do that. Number three, improved customer support, real-time information, access to knowledge bases, access to chat, a lot of things that they can do in the field real time to find that answer or to answer their customers. Ease of information. Number five, decreased cost. Number six, speed up processes and response times. This is a real big one, and this is part of this whole, transformation of business. The customers expect real-time answers. The customer expects to say, okay, where is my service person? When are they going to be here? Are they en route? All that information in real time. And, number seven is something we don't think about a lot, but it's important. Improvement of brand. If somebody comes to your door and they have a clipboard and pencil, or if somebody comes to your door and they've got a tablet with your information on it, your warranty information on it, all that, everything that they need to get things done and give you information, you think you have a lot better view of that company. And of course, it's all to eliminate paperwork and move paper right out of our business. So there's lots of proof of concept. There's lots of reasons and ROI to do this. And really, I think it's what we need to think about whenever we're deploying an application into a company. What's the mobile component, and how do we push that out to our mobile worker? Okay, I have the next slide. So we've got some things happening out there that I think are really important for mobility, but I think one of the most important events that we're going to see, and actually this was picked by one of the analysts as one of the most important CRM events of 2018, is Resco.net 2018 coming into Atlanta. So it's nice, centrally located. It's pretty easy to get to for everybody. And go have a look at this. This is a very low-cost 2-day conference. In fact, when I first saw the pricing on the website, I thought it was a mistake. So you're going to get 2 days of really intense field service and mobility education. And we're going to have some fun too. We're going to, have a reception at the Sky Lounge in Atlanta. But most of all, you're going to meet that ecosystem of other people delivering and building mobility products. And best of all, you're going to hear some of the top speakers in the industry. We have Mr. Ben Vollmer, who's the Global Field Service Lead for Dynamics 365. He's going to be our opening keynote, and Ben and I will be co-presenting another session on really how to talk to executives about mobile applications and why they need to be deployed. So I got to tell you, I'm excited about going to Atlanta in March, and hopefully, we've got quite a few people on this call today. We'll see you out there. So I'm going to send it back over to Ivan, and he's going to take you into the development tools.
Thank you, Rick. And I'm very excited to come to Atlanta as well. And apart from Ben and yourself, we'll have a number of other Microsoft representatives joining us there. We'll have a number of MVPs joining us there as well, and some of our best partners. And of course, our valuable customers will be coming as well. So it will be a group of perfect people, great minds. And I can't wait to have all those sparkling and enlightening discussions there with this group of people. Okay, let's now switch back to Resco and the main topic of the webinar today. Before I get to the Woodford and the technology itself, let me just outline what we're preparing for 2018. And you'll also find more information and can learn more about all of these new things at the Resco.next event in Atlanta next month. So we decided to make things a little bit more rich when it comes to products and solutions that Resco offers. Right now, you probably know that our flagship product, mostly called Resco Mobile CRM, is a solution basically targeting mobile sales and field service scenarios. Going forward, we want to kind of restructure and rearrange how we position our products. The base and the fundamental kind of layer will be fully based and is already fully based on Microsoft Azure. We see tremendous potential and tremendous growth of the Azure platform and Azure technology. And going forward, all our efforts will be based on Microsoft Azure. Collectively, we decided to call Resco technology the Resco Cloud Platform. And why this change? Because we actually see so many new ways how Resco can be used, how it can be positioned, and how it can really help the customers to achieve their goals and their mobile desires, their challenges, and improve their processes. So on the main part, the mobile sales and field service scenario, so the application or solution that you probably know as Resco Mobile CRM, that's going to stay there. We understand that's the core pillar of our product portfolio. There will be a lot of focus on adding new functionality and features and improving this product going forward. But in 2018, we decided to come up with a range of new solutions, let's say new verticals of the Resco technology. And we defined 4 areas that we will focus on mainly this year. The number one solution that will be released in Q1 is Resco Inspections. That's that little green bubble that you can see in the middle of the screen. Resco Inspections is a new product, new solution. It's heavily driven by the decision to actually create the solution is driven by our customers and feedback that we're getting. So many times our customers have a need to have a simple mobile application that allows them to collect feedback, collect data on the go very quickly using their mobile devices. So instead of trying to create a complicated mobile app, we decided to make a new product, a new solution called Resco Inspections that will include very easy to use designers, all web-based tools. There will be a new separate mobile application that will be available on all of the app stores. And our partners as well as customers can utilize the solution to create quick surveys or inspection forms that will be uploaded to the mobile application on the go. Of course, the cool features and functionality such as offline support for maps, GPS tracking, all these things will remain part of the solution and can be utilized as needed. The other 3 solutions will be released later this year. Route Planner is a big kind of solution that we see a lot of potential for. It's already partially supported in our core solution, Resco Mobile CRM, but we plan to add more muscle into that solution, bring new functionality, new features that will make it number 1 route planning and optimization solution for CRM scenarios. And the other 2, Resco as a rapid mobile application development platform. We're creating a lot of modules. So maps would be one, route planning would be the other one, solutions around security, mobile auditing, offline capabilities, full support for some of the leading MDM and EMM solutions, ability to create different types of mobile business applications, support for complex extensibility and customization through JavaScript and HTML5. All these things actually contribute to making Resco a really, really powerful tool when it comes to creating general mobile business applications. So we believe that Resco has it, or almost has it, what it takes to be considered a rapid mobile application development platform. Integrations with many different backend systems, many different CRM solutions as well. I think that all these things contribute to making Resco a #1 tool for creating mobile business apps. And then last but not least, the City Smart Services. That's our very sophisticated vertical addressing the needs of municipalities and cities. So it's a complete solution to interact and communicate with citizens. It gives the citizens the option to report any issues in their neighborhood, in their town, or in their city. It's actually a solution that comes in 3 parts. So there's a mobile application for the actual citizens. There's a backend system that allows the municipalities to manage and handle all the tickets, all the reports that they receive from the customers. And the third part of the solution is the field service plugin that actually allows the maintenance groups and contractors or any other field service technicians who actually go out and fix the problems that the citizens reported to actually manage all of those using Resco mobile application. That solution is already out there. We released the first version in fall last year, and you can find more information about it on our website. So that's all what we're preparing for 2018. I think it's going to be a perfect and very exciting year for Resco and for all of you, our customers and partners who decide to join us on this journey. If you want to find out more about all these 4 or 5 solutions, please consider coming to Atlanta next month. Okay, and now the main part of the webinar, the Resco technology, Resco mobile CRM, and the Woodford configuration tool. So before we get there, a few introductory things. What it is, how it works, what the Resco mobile CRM is actually all about. So Resco mobile CRM is actually truly a platform fully integrated with Microsoft Dynamics 365 and other CRM solutions as well. When you look at it from kind of architecture point of view or how it is structured, it basically consists of 2 parts. So there is a mobile application, or application I should probably say, as it also runs on laptops and desktops. Other than that, it's a native app for iOS devices, iPhones, iPads, Android, smartphones and tablets, and almost all Windows-based devices as well. So it's a native app that you can find on the App Store on your mobile device. You can download it and see the demo version of the application that comes with demo data. It's actually very easy and simple to connect the application with your CRM system. All you have to do is just type in your URL, your username and password, and you can try the Resco mobile experience on your own. We actually understand, however, that almost every customer has a very unique approach to CRM. They use CRM a little different. They use different system entities. Many of our customers use a lot of custom entities. They have different business processes. They have different policies. They work differently with some of the system entities as well. And all of these requirements actually reflect on the mobile needs and mobile challenges as well. Therefore, the integral or the heart of our technology is the configuration tool that we call Woodford. And this tool actually allows you to have full control over the mobile application. So it allows you to modify, configure, customize, change almost every little detail in the mobile application. It can be very simple things such as changing the color schemes, changing the icons, changing the name of the application, to, let's say, average difficulty things such as adding new entities, redesigning the mobile views, redesigning the mobile forms, adding some custom entities, adding custom fields, etc. But Woodford tool can also be used for very complex customizations as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, we have full support for HTML5 and JavaScript technologies. So if you have needs such as, let's say, creating a custom UI, redesigning some of the UI layer for certain entities or for the entire application, or for example, bringing very custom and complex calculations or functionality, everything can be achieved through the HTML5 and JavaScript technology and embedded into the mobile application. Good thing is that the Woodford tool is a multi-platform tool. That means you're doing all changes, all configurations only once, and with that you're targeting all the platforms, all the mobile, different mobile operating systems that Resco supports. So changes are done once and then deployed to all iOS, Android, and Windows devices automatically. Apart from that, the Woodford tool is also an administration tool. It allows you to manage both the mobile users and assign and reassign the mobile licenses. And it's also a security tool. So it allows you to have good control over the mobile application installed on mobile devices. And I'll make a few examples of that in the demo as well. We've been working on this technology for many years now, and it's becoming a very complex product with a lot of functionality and features it offers. And it will be really hard to sum them all up on just a few slides, but I put some of the resources that and links to those that can help you jumpstart and find all the most important information out there. So the first one is a link that points you to the Woodford source. So the link that allows you to download the Woodford tool and install it either as a standalone version on your computer, or you can upload it as a solution file to your Dynamics 365 instance. Then mobile applications, you can just go to the App Store on your mobile device, search for Resco Mobile CRM, and you can download it right from there. And as I mentioned, the Woodford guide is really complicated tool with a lot of things that you can achieve with that. And we have a very detailed user guide that you can find at resco.net/Woodford user guide. If this is not sufficient, or if you won't find information there, I always suggest to go to our general support web or reach out to my colleagues at mobilecrm@resco.net. Good. So we have about little less than 30 minutes for the actual demo. That should give us good time to cover the most important things and still have some time for more questions at the end. So let me start with a quick demo of the mobile application first. So I'll bring the application that I have running on my iPad. So what you should see in a few moments, unless you see it already now, is the mobile application installed on the actual iPad I have here on my desk. And this is more or less a default version of the application with just a few changes, few customizations to showcase some of the new functionality that we added recently into the mobile application. Quick overview and quick introduction to how the application is designed and structured and arranged. So basically, the application consists of three parts. The blue header part includes two important buttons, one in the left upper corner. Right now, you can probably see there's a little X sign in the left upper corner. As part of the button. That's the button that allows you to quickly change between online and offline mode. Because there's the X sign right now, that means the application works in offline mode. When I tap on that button, you can see the X sign is gone. And when I, for example, access accounts when in online mode, it takes a fraction of the second until the records are loaded. But when in online mode, I'm actually working with real data in real time. So with Resco, when we say you have true offline and true online experience, we don't lie. When you're in online mode, you're working with real data in real time. When I tap on that button and switch to offline mode, you're working with local database on your mobile device. The other button at the top of the screen, that's the circular two arrows. That's the chance to synchronize the application with your CRM system. As I said before, probably it's very simple to set it up. All you have to provide is the URL address of your CRM system, your username and password. And when you hit the sync button again, you can synchronize the mobile application. In my demo of the Woodford tool, I'll show you a couple things. One of them will be dashboard. So let's spend a little bit of time on the dashboard in the mobile application as well. So this is one of the many possible configurations of dashboard. My dashboard shows two charts at the top of the screen and then two views at the bottom of the screen. Hopefully you can see it. Every part of the dashboard is fully interactive. So for example, the views, I can scroll all the records up and down. I can even access the records just by tapping on them. And same actually applies for the charts. So when I want to focus on certain chart only, so let's say the opportunities, and bring them to full screen mode, so I'm not distracted by any other fields and parts of the application, I can double tap that section and bring that opportunities chart to full screen mode. What's even more, I can change the chart type on the go. That's actually very easy and very simple. All I have to do is just tap on the chart with my finger, and you can see out of the box we have support for up to 7 different charts. So if I'm not happy with this funnel style chart, I can change it to, let's say, column chart. So I'll choose this one. And as soon as I hit the apply button, I see the same data set presented as a column chart right here on my screen. That's not all. We also support drill down. That's the section here. So I can choose a field based on which I want to reshape the chart. So let's say I'll choose topic and hit apply, and now I see the data sliced and diced based on topic. So again, the same data set changed on the go dynamically on the chart. When I just want to return back to the default screen of the dashboard, I tap on the back button in the top right corner, and I see the default dashboard right there very, very easily. So that's the dashboard. We'll change it a little bit in my next demo. But before we go there, let me show you one more thing in the application, or maybe two. So first one will be about route planning and optimization, as my understanding so far is that so many customers really love to use the maps in conjunction with CRM records. The maps and navigation and the GPS functionality just adds so much value and such a nice new dimension to CRM records that many of our customers really love it. Maybe many of you are familiar with our support for maps, so that's still there. And if I go here, you'll see that the map functionality is still there with support of showing all different types of records and entities on the map. But about a year ago, we decided to go one step further and actually provide a route optimization functionality. That part is called My Route in the mobile application right here, and I can collapse the home menu a little bit, just like this. So I only see the icons and use the space for the actual tour plan and map panels. So the route optimization screen consists of two parts. There's the map in the middle of the screen. I'm using my fingers to zoom out a little bit to find some of my CRM records on the map. Each little record is represented by this little colorful pin. And as I mentioned, we have full support for all system entities and custom entities that can have some physical location. So all of those we can position and place on the map. And then the right panel, the section on the right side of the screen, that's actually the tour plan. So it defines, or it shows, lists all the stops that I'm going to make on a given day. You can see that I always start with the start location and I always finish with the end location. You can actually define the address of the start and end location as well. It can be current location, it can be your home address, it can be your office address, whatever is the preference depending where you start your day. And then if we decide to add some points to my tour plan, that's actually very easy. I can do it manually by moving around the map, or I can use the search bar at the top of the screen to look for particular CRM records. Let's say I use the manual approach, and first of all, I add Linda, this green button on the top of the map. And to do that, I'll just tap on the little plus button that showed up in that white bubble. So you can see it now changed from green to gray, and it includes number 1 because this is going to be my first stop. The start time and end time of my meeting or appointment can be changed right here on the right side of the screen. But let's say I'm okay to be there at 1:45 and it will be a 30-minute meeting, so I'll be finished at 2:15 and I hit save. When I'll do that, you can see that first step already showed up in between the start and end location. And I can continue adding some more points. So let's say this yellow pin here, that would be a meeting or appointment with Paul. I say that's right. So that would be my second stop. And then I'll go to Back Bay of Boston and I'll visit an account, Twin Brothers Bikes. And as I'm adding all these stops, you can see there's a blue line that we're drawing on the map. And actually that blue line shows how to get from my current location or my start location to all those stops and then back to my end location. This is cool. And I think this shows you that the Resco is really powerful, but I often get a question that, oh, this is really handy, but how am I going to use it when I actually drive my car if I want to use it as a navigation, right? So we have an answer for that, and it's actually very easy to do so. So this whole tour plan that we define here can be opened in Google Maps by tapping on this little map button in the top right corner, right next to the save button. And when I do that, what we actually do, we grab all the points, all the stops that we defined in Resco, and we open them in the Google Map application. The Google Map, instead of numbering the stops, Google uses alpha signs, so I see them by A, B, and C. What's very cool, when you open it in Google Maps, we get real information about traffic. So you can see some parts of the map are shown in red. There's probably some congestion or traffic jams. And it also shows you some detours or some additional routes, how I can get there and be actually on my way there. And when you hit the start button, basically you're probably familiar with the step-by-step navigation that Google Map navigation provides. Good. So that's for the application. Let's now switch to Woodford. And I'll show you two things there. First one will be how to change the dashboard and replace some of these parts that we can see right here in the mobile application. And the second example will be how to add a new entity into the Resco mobile application. So let's do it now. I'll switch to the Resco Woodford tool. Okay. And it should be visible by now. So what you see is a standalone version of the Resco Woodford tool. It's installed on my local computer, on my laptop. This is one opportunity or one way how to use Woodford. The other one is to use it as a solution file that you upload to Microsoft Dynamics 365. Anyway, they all deliver the same functionality. It's just a matter of preference. This is how Woodford tool looks like when you log in Woodford to your Dynamics 365 organization. One important note, you must use a role that has system admin. That is a system admin role actually to be able to use Woodford properly. And when you log into Woodford, this is how it looks like, basically the home screen. At the very top, I have the ribbon with the mobile projects option. Mobile project, that's actually a configuration of mobile application. So you can see we can create new mobile project, we can edit existing projects, we can import, export, clone, derive, etc., etc. So you have many options how to manage the mobile projects. Then on the left-hand side, I have the administration menu. So administration menu consists of several parts now. At the very top, I have mobile projects. So that's basically the screen that you can see in the middle of the Woodford tool. And that's a list of all mobile projects, all different configurations of Resco mobile applications done on the Dynamics 365 organization that I'm logged into. You can see there's very many of them. Some of them are active. Those that are active, that means they're available for the mobile users. They have a little blue sign with a white arrow in it. Some of them are deactivated. Those have the little red sign next to it. And in some of them, there have been done some changes, but those were not being made available for the users. So they have the little gray sign next to it. I also mentioned when talking about Woodford tool that we have the built-in security module that allows me to control the mobile application remotely. So it's part of the administration section, and I'm opening that part right now. So you should see it in a moment. The security part basically gives you an overview of all mobile devices where Resco mobile application is or has been installed. And what's really cool, when I slide to the right of the screen, you'll see I have three options here. I can remotely lock the mobile application on specific device. I can wipe out the local database of the mobile application remotely, or I can force that mobile device or mobile application to have a full synchronization to actually make sure that all the changes in the mobile project are deployed to the mobile application. If this is not sufficient, you have also a section called the new policy that allows you to create a kind of very detailed security policy that manages how the mobile application behaves based on different criteria and different conditions. So a quick example, if you want to log the application during non-business hours, you can do so right here, and you can define the times of non-business hours there. Or a very practical one, if the user enters password incorrectly, and it depends how many times you have that option to define it here, we can lock up the mobile application remotely right here, and similar options we have for the application wipeout. So that was security, but let me go to back to the mobile projects. The mobile project that I was showing on the mobile application is named New Features Next, and it has the highest priority. That means this one will prevail if there are any other mobile projects assigned to my role. By setting a higher priority or the highest priority, I'll make sure this will be the project applied in my case. So by double tapping on that project, I can open it up to actually see all the details that I can find in the mobile application. All those parts are actually listed on the left-hand side of the screen. So I have sections such as Home, which is the home menu in the application, the very left panel. I have the dashboard. That's what we're going to focus on in the next few minutes. And as you can see, there's a lot of additional parts here. So social, you can define or edit into the mobile application. It's a collaboration tool that allows the mobile users to interact using chat or comments, etc. You have simple branding opportunities, so you can change the name of the application and the title. You can define the support email. If you don't want your users to reach out to Resco at first, you can change it to your email. If you're a partner, your customers can reach out to you. If you're a customer and would like to handle some of your mobile colleagues' requests first, you can change that right here. Auditing is another module within Resco that allows you to control how your users use the application. So it gives you a great opportunity to see where your users spend the most time, what kind of records they create, what kind of actions they take in the mobile application. And what's really cool, you can also turn on the option to track the GPS position and include the GPS position so that you can see where your users use the mobile application and where they interact with the app. The result of this auditing module is a report that you can see in your Dynamics instance together with a map and all pins that define all these actions that your users made out in the field. And many others here, as you can see. Inspections is a new thing that we're working on right now, and the first beta version is already available as part of the Woodford tool. But let's go back to the dashboard, and we will focus now on this example of how to change the dashboard in the mobile application. So you can see for my mobile app, I have already like 4 different dashboards created. That's a good news. If you want to have multiple dashboards in the app, there's absolutely the opportunity and possibility to do that. So right now I'll open the dashboard form because that's the dashboard that I'm using in the mobile application. And this is how the dashboard designer looks like. So I have 2 charts at the top of the screen and 2 views at the bottom of the screen. If I switch back to the mobile application, this is how these views or this dashboard looks like on the mobile app, right? The 2 charts at the top, 2 views at the bottom. You can have up to 16 of these little views or little windows, if you will, on the dashboard, but we always recommend to take into consideration the size of the display, and probably having up to 16 would be too much unless you're using a large display. Our recommendation is not to exceed 2x2 pattern or grid. And now, how can you interact or change things here? So all 4 cells are actually filled with some content. But let's say I don't really work with leads, the section here at the bottom of the screen. So I can select it and just simply delete it. And now when I select or highlight that part, I can add there a view, a chart, or even an iframe. Iframe is basically a web browser window that can be embedded into the dashboard. But let's say I just want to really utilize appointments more. So what you can also do, you can actually expand one of the existing windows to actually a larger rectangle. So my new dashboard, when I'll be done, will consist of 2 charts at the top and just 1 view of appointments at the bottom of the screen. In order to actually get and push this change down to the mobile device, all I have to do is really just click on 2 buttons. So first I save the change in the Woodford tool. I think that's pretty obvious. And then the second thing I have to do is click on the publish button. What's happening right now, this change, this edited mobile project is now being published, so being stored in Dynamics 365 organization in one of the Resco entities. So this was finished successfully. And now when I go back to the mobile app, you can still see the old dashboard. But when I synchronize the mobile application, which as a user I do on a regular basis, because in order to actually send and receive the changed records, I need to synchronize the application. During this process, you can see I'm receiving some new records, already 3. So there are some changes on the side of the server, but the application always also checks if there's a new changed or edited mobile project. In my case, the new mobile project was identified, it was downloaded along with the records. As a user, I get the message that the application was updated, and when I hit the OK button, now I'll go to the dashboard, and you can see instead of having two views at the bottom of the screen, I now have just the appointments there. So changing dashboard really took probably 2-3 minutes, and all the changes can be seen in the application upon just 2-3 clicks. Good. Now a little more complicated thing. We will add a new entity into the mobile application. To see the list of all entities, you can go to the bottom of the screen here, or of this list here, and when I open up the entities item, you can now see all the entities that are available on the Dynamics 365. Some of them are shown in full color, such as activity, appointment, case, connection, etc. That means these entities are already part of my mobile project, part of my mobile application. And then there's plenty of grayed out entities, such as campaign, article, business unit, address, etc. That means that they're available on the Dynamics 365, but they're not part of the mobile project, at least yet. My example will be I will add a competitor entity into the mobile project. So to do that, I actually follow these few steps. First of all, I select competitor and I'll need to enable it for the mobile project. So that's very simple. It's really just one click. As you can see, when I'm on the competitor detail, I have lots of options here in terms of permissions, mode. That means if the entity will be available in online and offline, or online only. Few things about synchronization, standard sync, conflict resolution, and then some additional permissions on the level of actual fields. So we enabled the entity. I will leave these options untouched. What we need to do now is to add a few fields that we want to work with in the mobile application. So I'll rearrange them by name, and let's say I, as a user, want to have access to city, country, street, zip code, state, and that should do it. I'll save this change, so we're adding these fields into the mobile app. And now I need to proceed with two things. I need to design a mobile view and mobile form. In order to design a mobile view, you can actually proceed in two different ways. You can create a new mobile view from scratch, or you can import your views from Dynamics 365. So basically, this is a way to save your time. So let's say I want to use all competitors view from Dynamics CRM, but I'm getting an error message or a warning message that one field that is used in that view is not enabled for the competitor entity. But I'll just proceed because we're running out of time, but this will be my view. And then I'll proceed with the form. And here you actually need to create a form from scratch, but that's for good reasons, because many forms created for Dynamics 365 are designed for the large displays. And imagine trying to fit all that information on a small screen of a smartphone. That would probably be very, very difficult or close to impossible. In default, the form consists of two tabs, but you can add additional ones by tapping on Add Detail button at the top of the screen, so you can have as many tabs as you wish. And each tab, of course, can include any fields. So on the General tab, I'll add the name of the competitor. I add Created On and Modified On. And then on the Address tab, I'll actually add all the fields that define the address and that we enabled for the competitor entity. So you can see this is very simple, very easy to do. It's a very visual and drag and drop kind of designer that allows me to create a mobile form. Again, at the top of the screen, you can see there's a lot of options that I have. I can add a media tab, I can add the social wall, I can add a map tab, iframe. If I want to create some specific rules that define the behavior of the form, I can do it based on 3 different events: on load, on change, or on save. And I can also add some commands here in this section. So for example, if you want to run a report, if you want to add delete option, email option, or maybe simply add support for barcode scanners, all those things can be added here. When I'm done, I hit save and close button. And now all I have to do is one last change. Go to the home section and just make sure that I add the competitor entity on the home menu so that I can access it in the mobile application. I save this last step, and now I'll do the same thing again. So I hit the publish button. I get the error message that I'm missing a field, but I'll proceed despite that warning for now. Okay, publish was finished. In the application, I'll do the same step. So I'll synchronize the mobile application with Dynamics 365. This might take a little longer now because I need to download a new set of data, all the competitors, but it was actually pretty quick. So I'll confirm by hitting OK. And now you can see the competitor entity now is right here in the middle of the screen. When I tap on competitor entity, I get that error message. I apologize for that. And I'll change that to all competitors. And if I go to this screen, you can see the 2 tabs, the general or info tab that includes the name, created on, modified on, and then the address tab with all the fields that we define on the form that basically include the address information, street, city, etc. So again, as you could see, adding a new entity, it required a little more steps, a few more steps than changing the dashboard. But most of the things were done using a mouse. And I think it's fair to say we've been done with that in about 5 minutes. So those were my 2 demonstrations, 2 demos in the Woodford tool. I understand that this was probably very simple, and if you're familiar with Resco, this might have been a bit boring. But I understand that many of you are just starting with Resco, and I hope this gave you a good idea about how to actually start and how easy it is to work with the Woodford tool. What's next? We restructured our organization in terms of how we address and service the world. So we have a separate team for North America. For all new partners who are interested in working with us, please contact my colleague Paula Kuhl at paula.kuhl@resco.net. If you're existing or prospective customers and existing partners, please work with one of my 2 colleagues, Paul Selinger at resco.net or Scott.Anderson@resco.net. For the rest of the world, our team from Europe will take care of you. For any new partners interested in working with Resco, please reach out to Anna at anna.konsakova@resco.net. And all our customers and existing partners, please, with any questions, reach out to sales@resco.net. And hopefully, I hope that I'll see you at Resco.next event in Atlanta, Georgia in 2018.
Ivan, it's Rick. Do we have any kind of discount code or anything available for our listeners today?
We have discount codes, and all of you who joined us today, you will get an email from us very soon with more information about Resco Next, and that email will also include a discount code that you can use to actually sign up for Resco Next.
And it was a deal before. This is even a better deal. Thanks.
Yeah, absolutely. We have two questions right now in the question section. If any of you are interested in asking us something that we didn't cover or covered but it wasn't clear enough, please feel free to use the question section, which is part of the GoToWebinar panel. The first question here was by Wynand. He was interested in the barcode functionality. So I apologize that wasn't part of my demo. But if you use one of the links that I shared on one of the slides, you will find the whole section about how to make barcodes enabled and how to add them to the Resco solution. Another question, any hints on the new map features? So I think I showed something around the route planning. This is the base of the route planner vertical or verticalized solution that we'll be releasing this year. I encourage you to go to our website and within products, you'll find a section called Route Planner. It includes a video of where we want to get very soon. I think it's very cool. It will allow you to create territories. It will allow you to actually track and see where your mobile users are, how fast are they progressing with their within their tour plans, etc. And it's really cool. Another question here, if the new feature next mobile project template will be available for download. I can definitely check on this with my colleagues if this would be possible. My kind of only concern is that it relies on some customizations of the Dynamics 365 organization that you might not have done in your organization, but I definitely check with my colleagues, and if that's technically possible, we'll be more than happy to share that mobile project with you. Another question here, that's great, we're getting a lot of questions now. Have customers used maps before in order to plan what territory sales reps are assigned to? So I think yes, many of our customers really use maps. Some of our customers are very inventive about how they use maps. So for example, they use custom pins for special groups or special groups of customers that the sales reps need to visit. And there will be more and more functionality that will add into that mapping solution as part of the route planner application. Another question, is the latest Woodford solution that we just saw, is it available for the field service mobile app solution that comes as part of Dynamics 365 field service license? Particularly, is the route planning available for the license? So for those of you who are not familiar with field service for Dynamics 365, it's a module, field service module or application provided by Microsoft. And it includes mobility, which is fully based on Resco mobile application and Resco configuration tool. So that one officially is about one version behind Resco. So you won't find all the cool functionality that I showed today, such as route planning, for example. But there will be very good news coming out soon. And unfortunately, I cannot tell more yet. But we will reveal more and possibly very groundbreaking news very soon, hopefully at the Resco Next event next month. Another question here, any news on the scheduling module? I didn't hear you mention that for this year. So scheduling will be part of the inspection product. The idea is to actually provide you with a scheduling tool that allows you to assign different inspection jobs or inspection tasks to specific people or users. And that way we'll provide and add the scheduling part into Resco. And then, of course, you will most probably be able to use it with other parts of Resco technology as well. Another question, and we're getting more and more, and running slightly out of time, so let's take two more. One question about inspections. You mentioned inspections is in beta. When will that be available for general release? Question from Adrian. So that is already available as part of the Woodford package. So when you install the Woodford tool or upgrade to the latest version of the Woodford tool, part of it is inspection. So it's just a beta, as I mentioned. So it's not complete, as you can imagine, but it should give you an idea about what we're preparing there. And more news about when we'll release the separate mobile application and the additional tools and designers will be released soon. And let's say last question, a quick follow-up. Who can I contact here in Denver, Colorado to discuss how to best tailor the Resco app to my own specific small business process? The best would be to contact my colleague Paul, as is his territory. You can reach out to Paul at paul.salinger@resco.net. And I'll make sure, Tim, that Paul will get your contact information, such as email, and will be able to reach out to you as well. There's a few more questions, but I think we covered almost all of them, and we ran out of time. So I apologize for that, but I would really like to thank you for attending today's session and today's webinar. I hope you find a lot of new things here, or that we at least gave you good ideas about how the Resco technology works and how it can be used. Thank you. Have a great rest of the day, and you will hear from us very soon with next webinar again. Rick, thank you for joining us today as well, and I hope to see many of you in Atlanta.
All right.